Context confers meaning. When we begin to delve into the historical context that contributed to the systematic and mechanistic functioning of our schooling institutions, one notably important influence is scientific management. Now, scientific management is a theory of management that emerged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, primarily associated with the work of Frederick Winslow Taylor. It aims to improve efficiency and productivity in organizations through the systematic analysis and optimization of work processes. But what influenced scientific management? Where do we look? Well, we look to context. If we take scientific management to be the focal point of our contextual frame of understanding, we begin to notice some interesting contributing contextual influences. Now, interestingly, photography is one of those influences. Let me begin with Edward Muybridge. While you might not be familiar with Muybridge the person, you're probably familiar with some of his work. He is probably most well known for his innovative work in stop-motion photography. What is stop-motion photography, you might ask? Well, stop-motion photography is a technique used to capture motion by taking a series of individual photographs of a subject in different positions or phases of movement. These photographs can then be viewed individually or played back in rapid succession to create the illusion of continuous motion, much like motion pictures or the movies. Now, you might be thinking that this doesn't sound like anything very innovative, but Muybridge invented this. He was doing photography in the 1880s, so we think of him as a revolutionizing figure in the world of photography. He used cameras that were triggered by tripwires, allowing him to meticulously capture the intricacies of motion. You're probably familiar with his iconic series of photographs that immortalized the gallop of a horse by dissecting the horse's movement frame by frame. His technique of stop motion has since been used in various fields, including animation, filmmaking, scientific research, and of course artistic expression. But importantly for us, it was his pioneering work in stop-motion photography which played a significant role in advancing our interest in motion and human locomotion. Now imagine, you're seeing this type of photographed animal and human movement for the very first time. You can probably imagine how scientists marveled at the subtle nuances that were revealed. The turn of a torso, the tension of a muscle, the trajectory of a limb. It was against this backdrop, or within this context, that Frank and Lillian Gilbreths' work emerged. The Gilbreths were industrial engineers who became intrigued by Muybridge's pioneering approach. Beyond the aesthetic allure of the photographs, the Gilbreths tried to discern how representations of people's actions might demonstrate or reveal efficiency in movement. Their mission was to infuse some sort of scientific rigor into the realm of human work processes, most notably activities within the factory. Thus, time and motion studies was born. Inspired by Muybridge's photographic methods, the Gilbreths embarked on ambitious time and motion studies. Their methodology involved dissecting tasks into their elemental motions, much like Muybridge's meticulous dissection of movement. The Gilbreths' overarching goal was to reveal the fundamental movements that led to productivity through optimized processes. So, in following Muybridge's footsteps, the Gilbreths embraced photography as a tool for their studies. They used time-lapse photography to capture the most efficient movement and rhythm of labor, looking for an optimal relationship between human effort and the volume of work that the effort accomplishes. This would help them to uncover hidden efficiencies within sequences of actions for any worker. The convergence of Muybridge's quest to capture movement and the Gilbreths' pursuit of efficiency was not mere coincidence. By scrutinizing the minutiae or the particulars of motion, such as the turn of a wrench, the grasp of a tool, the movement of an arm, they catalyzed a transformation in industrial practices. In their paradigm, time was currency and motion served as its dialect. As we consider the contextual influences on schooling practices, we note this important contextual symbiosis between Muybridge's fixed movements in time and the Gilbreths' dynamic optimization. For in every step taken and every task optimized, we can begin to recognize some of these enduring influences on our institution of schooling. So, what are some schooling practices that have been influenced in some way by Muybridge and the Gilbreths? Well, we can point to classroom management and the principles of efficiency that are used to organize classroom activities and optimize teaching time, ensuring that instructional tasks are completed effectively. We can point to educational technology and the way that Muybridge's pioneering work in photography and motion studies paved the way for advancements in various analysis tools. Technologies such as video analysis tools, interactive simulations, and virtual labs draw from the same principles of motion analysis that Muybridge and the Gilbreths explored. Or we can point to the design of learning environments. The Gilbreths' focus on optimizing work processes have influenced the design of learning environments. Educators apply principles of ergonomics and efficiency to arrange classroom furniture, materials, and resources in ways that facilitate student learning and engagement. And we can point to aspects of curriculum development and the way the design of curriculum is influenced by task efficiency. Muybridge and the Gilbreths may not have directly influenced schooling practices, but their contributions to the contextual influence of schooling by raising or heightening the importance of motion efficiency and optimization have undoubtedly left a mark on various aspects of our modern-day schooling practices.